welcome back to the backyard. I'm Satia and today we will be making major progress on Rome. And then I don't mean just one building. No, I mean we will be making an entire street. Because, as you can see, I have been working on this road, maybe a little bit. The second arch is finally standing, and look at that. I flattened out the area, put in the road. This pavement still needs to work a little bit on the other side, but I'm not sure how I want to do roads on the other side yet, so I've kind of ignored that still. But, you know, it's semi in place now. It's semi in place. And as you maybe also can see is that there's this thing. That is because I've kind of outgrown my storage system, and we desperately need a new one. So that is also something that we'll be building in this street, because I need a proper storage room system thing. So that's going to be the main focus of this street. And it's going to be a little bit different from the buildings we've been building so far. It's going to be a little bit more official looking. But it's going to be a lot of fun. I already have some ideas, so let's explain everything, shall we? Okay, for this part of the video, I have taken up a screenshot, and I have drawn a little bit of the vision that I have for this street. It's a very rough vision. I think you can see that's a very rough vision, but it'll make sense eventually once we build it. This is going to be the more fancier building, the storage building with like a large arch. Maybe like some more cool pillars and more the things like more in the style of the arch there. A lot of arches, yes, with a little figurine on top, semi-diagonal probably here. It'll be a larger building, and then next to it we'll have more of a similar one of this building, but then maybe a little bit bigger and a little bit fancier possibly. And then we have a little another arch. With a street going to another houses that will be here in the back that we won't be building right now. And then on both sides I want apartment buildings because, against contrary belief, the Romans did actually have apartment buildings, which is pretty cool. It was for the less rich folks, and they definitely weren't the best, but they had them, which I think is pretty cool. And we will be using bricks for that because I completely forgot that bricks are kind of like an integral part of ancient Rome. So we of course need to use bricks at least somewhere. So that's what we'll be using for the big buildings, the big apartments that'll be on both sides of this way to the farmland. And I think it's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of work. Yes. But it's just a lot of building and a lot of I like building. And while we are building, I will also probably explain a little bit of where I've been, because I've gone to TwitchCon with a couple of the other backyardians, and it's so much fun. But I will talk more about that while we are building the actual buildings in like the time-lapse form thing. But first, let's mock these buildings up. And just like that, we have the buildings actually standing, or well, the outline of the buildings are standing, of course. But that's okay, because that means that we can finally start building. And I'm very excited about that, because I have been getting the materials, as I said before, of course, and been testing with a couple of new build techniques in creative to try and figure out what would look cool. One of those is, we have to go to this chest here, working with pots. 1 stack of pots equals 4 stacks of bricks. Why are they so expensive? I don't like it very much, but that's okay. That is completely fine. Because it'll be amazing. That will be our storage room. This will be maybe a smelter or like just housing. I think I already have a design in mind for this. Then we will have an amazing archway with a street going this way for the other buildings there, of course, and then apartment buildings with... Actually, I think I'm going to put the super smelter in here. It's very big, means we have a lot of space, so I'm probably going to do that there. And then just a smaller apartment building over here. I'm very excited for it. Not sure if we're going to chuck something there, like what it's going to be. But at least this street will be semi-done then, and then we can start focusing on this side, but we can ignore that for now. For a bit. Okay? So let's get this little time-lapse thing going, and let's start our TwitchCon stories. To start, TwitchCon was absolutely insane. Everyone arrived the Wednesday before TwitchCon would happen, so I first met up with the Australians MBH and Sprinkles, and meeting them was so surreal, but also so normal. It felt like I've been hanging out with them for like every week the past 5 years, but I don't even know them online for a year yet. So that was crazy, but it was so lovely, and they were so nice, and everyone was so nice. It was just amazing. So then with the four of us, we went to the accommodation. We're kind of like settling in, and of course they were incredibly jet lagged coming from Australia, so they went to bed and I waited for Mint and Cece to arrive. So they arrived at midnight, which is a little bit late, but you know, it happens. So they were of course also really tired and also lovely to meet, but then Mint said something funny and I had to giggle, and then Mint started wheezing and I lost it, and just that entire interaction, just meeting everyone, it feeling so good. It was insane. It was amazing. And then the second day, on Thursday, we went into the city. We went to Utrecht, and there we did a little bit of shopping, a little bit of sightseeing, and we also finally met up with Yulandite, who was also coming to TwitchCon. Also such an amazing person. I love Yulandite so much. She's amazing, so lovely to meet. And it just all felt so normal and so good, and there wasn't really an awkwardness between everyone. It was insane. It was lovely, lovely, lovely. Then the third day on Friday, I showed everyone around the museum that I work at, gave them a private tour, which was incredible to do. Such an amazing audience to present to. And after that, we went to Rotterdam to pick up our badges for TwitchCon, it was insane. It was so cool. They had different lines for like the normal tickets, and then the affiliate people, and then the partners. So we were put into the affiliate line, and we're like, yeah, go ahead, you can have the special affiliate badge. Not really special, I guess, but the badges were, this year's TwitchCon had a pink top and like a green bottom, and they were just the perfect backyard colors. It was insane. The entirety of TwitchCon was so backyard coded. This really was our year. It was crazy. But after the badge pickup, we also ran into Jimmy Solidarity Gaming and Ollie the Orion Sound and Jules Wallish Beans and Lizzie Aldi Shadow Lady, and they were just there, and we asked if we could take pictures, so we have pictures with them and had a little chat, which was really, really cool. But we also met with Maze and Linksy Liam, and we had a little chat, which was a lot of fun. Also met one of our viewers, which was absolutely insane to meet someone like who watches your videos and to actually see them in front of you. That's crazy. But that was our Friday, and then we get to the actual TwitchCon. TwitchCon was so incredibly cool. On Saturday, we met a lot of new people. We met Leon SBU, we met Weightbox, with Gundo, Apakuna, Ruby Code, the list goes on and on and on, and everyone was so nice to hang out with. It was genuinely so much fun. And then after TwitchCon, after meeting everyone, after having a meet and greet with Jimmy and Ollie, we went to an after party. So together with 4C, we went to that after party along with the Backyardians, and it wasn't exactly the best after party, but we had a little nice chat, we hung out. So that was a lot of fun. Took a lot of pictures, which I love taking pictures of TwitchCon. It was so nice just seeing everyone interact and just being their selves. It was lovely. And Sunday was basically more of the same. We did a lot of talking to people, and we watched MCC live, which was so cool, seeing all the people, like seeing Jojo live and seeing Wade live, and then all the members and contestants, of course. It was really cool, and being able to chat with them like afterwards, amazing too. Had a meet and greet with Scott, dang, that's a long name. amazing. It was just really cool meeting everyone, basically. Then we're already on Monday. And on Monday, we were all absolutely exhausted from TwitchCon because it was a lot of fun, but also it took so much energy. So we were just staying at the accommodation, rented a water bag, and just did a little bit of just staying around, did some Dutch gourmetten, which is the fastest I've ever did gourmetten, but it was fun to teach everyone how it's done. And then on Tuesday, which was the last day everyone was like properly in the Netherlands, we went to Rotterdam again to do some shopping, and we had dinner in Gouda to kind of finalize it in a beautiful city, and afterwards see CBH and me. And M. I forgot M. Oh, how did I forget M? We're just a little walking around and we're just enjoying ourselves like that through Gouda. Enjoyed the last moment in the Netherlands. And then on Wednesday, everyone already had to leave. But it was so, so fun. I definitely did not cry when I said goodbye to everyone. And I can't wait for TwitchCon next year, or just to see everyone again, because it's going to be absolutely lovely. Let's get back to the video. And with that, we now have our first proper street. Like, if you look on the map, it's getting populated. It's finally getting like filled in. It's going to look so cool. And what's... Oh, never mind. That's just an armor, and that's a bat, probably. Yeah. There's one thing that I noticed while building. First of all, actually, I hope you really enjoyed our TwitchCon stories, like, as much as I enjoyed actually, like, experiencing them or something. But there's one problem that we have, and that is that these roofs are so prone to mob spawning. We'll take a look here. They're so prone to mob spawning. They're not lit up. They're very spawnable, I guess. So that's something that we need to work on too. But that's a problem for Satia of the future. I don't care about that right now, because what I care about now is actually starting to work on the building that will be our storage room, which is of course this marvelous big marble quartz building over here. It came to me in a dream. Actually, it's not true. It came to me right before I went to bed a couple of months ago. But you have the target block, which basically has the same kind of texture as the quartz pillars. The color is a little bit different, but it's not noticeable enough due to the red lines. So I thought we'd use some red mortar, which is from the GA's mod, his latest update. It's amazing, by the way. You can do amazing stuff with that. Go check out his video for that. But we use like the red mortar, which is a little bit more vibrant than the red terracotta. So it matches with the red on the target blocks even better. Along with these gilded sandstone things, also things from the J's mod. And it still fits in with all the other buildings, but yet it just stands out with the brightness of it. And I really, really, really like it. On the inside, there is this mosaic pattern that I found on Pinterest. And the only problem is that this has like a proper center. And this has a nice proper center, but this is a 1-block center, this is a 2-block center because of the inclination thing that happened here on the second floor, which is amazing. I really like it. It looks great that way, but I'm not entirely sure how I'm going to get up here. So that's going to be one slight problem, but I'm sure we can figure that out, right? That's figure outable. But yeah, I'm going to start placing down chests here, and we're probably going to need to have like a way down, because this is not going to be enough room for all my stuff, because I like to hoard a lot of things. I'm like an actual hoarder, but it's fine. It's fine. It's so fine. It's so completely okay, yeah. So we're gonna have to figure a little bit more about but we're gonna have to figure out what we're going to do there. But for now, the building is there, which is the biggest part that we needed. So that's amazing. Our first step right now is to place all the chests down, and I'm not entirely sure how I want them placed. I currently also only have for chests, so before we could actually start doing things, I might have to destroy an entire ecosystem again. But we are going to place them down, and I'm not fully sure how I want to do that. It is important that we have the chests in front. Actually, is that important? No. Because then you won't even... Never mind, it's not important they are in front of the sandstone pillars. Ignore that real quick. But I can place them like this, and I've seen a couple of members in the backyard have them like that. Do I have a block? And then just have the block next to it instead of placing an item frame. I guess to prevent lag. But I'm going to be very, very real with you here. I don't think we have the space to do that. So I think we're just gonna have to just... That's not how you destroy that, that's how you destroy that. I think we're just gonna have to chuck all these chests down like this and hope that we will still be able to record a move after their entire chest room is done and the entirety of the room is done with the armor stands and signs. But I'm sure it'll be fine. I'm sure it will be more than fine to do that. So let's destroy an entire ecosystem again and get all the wood that we need for all these thousands upon thousands of chests. Because if you thought the amount of chests I had in the windmill were a lot, think again. This is gonna be so much more. And with that, we have our storage room. There are still so many empty spots. I believe there are more than 80 chests in here. I think that at least half of them aren't filled yet, but that's okay. I'm sure I'll get more blocks in like the future, or some that like need expanding or need an extra chest or need a specific chest. I'm sure we'll get there eventually during this season, so it's okay. It's good to have some spare chests and such, just in case. I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to do on top here, but at least we have some extra mini chests for all the miscellaneous stuff, like all my that's not the chest shulker boxes and all my mini heads, like mini blocks. And that wasn't there. I did not place that, but that's going to stay. That's going to stay the entire season. Joke's on you, person who put that there, because I love myself a good level of love. So that's going to stay. That's Satia trademark now. I'm claiming it. But yeah, this is going to be it. Maybe I'm going to put like an armory stand theme above on top of here. Don't know how we'll get there, but maybe it's just for decoration. Not entirely sure. But that's a problem from Satia of the future. For now, I think we have a marvelous, marvelous chest room that I can actually start using now, instead of having to have an entire setup here outside that still has a lost shulker box I need to clean up, apparently. That's again also a problem for later, because I genuinely can't be bothered to do that right now. But yeah, this is amazing. I'm happy with this little big chest room thing. And hopefully a creeper won't walk in and destroy all my chests, because then I'm going to cry. But that won't happen. That definitely won't happen ever, because I light up everything perfectly. Of course. With that, I also think it is time to end our episode. I'm really, really happy with everything we did today. It looks so fun. We finally have a fully complete street. It's amazing. I'm a big fan. The street still itself is a little bit empty, but that is mainly because I'm not entirely sure how I want to decorate it. I don't really know if I want to keep like these planter boxes, if I want them on here too, or if I want like just be empty, or maybe some like little market stalls. I'm not fully certain, so I'm going to keep it empty just for the time being until I figure that out exactly. And then we have this entire street, and I'm so incredibly happy. It's amazing. Rome is coming together. And next episode, I hope to be working a little bit more on this side of Rome, because that's been lacking greatly. A lot. But all there is left to say now is thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to see how Rome will end up looking. It's very fun. The backyard is very fun. Go join my Discord. Go enjoy the backyard community Discord. You get to see cool stuff. You get to see me stream. You get to see cool Satia private Discord sneak peeks, MCCI parties, everything. It's very fun. Highly recommend. Of course. And then all there's left to say is thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video, and bye!